Okay, so uh, basically, we had two teams that sent us in um, games to review, and then I also had them select like timestamps inside these games where they think that like something messed up, or like that they messed up that really shifted the state of the map. So for context, this league is like a newer Queen League. And yeah, I'm sharing my screen, but I'm blurring out the picture of who's playing to like prevent any sort of bias or anything like that. So you won't see who is actually playing, and then that way you can be as critical as you want. And then this map we are reviewing blue. So yeah, if you want to watch it, I'll pause a lot of places, but however you want to do the reviews, I think will be helpful. We're not specifically reviewing the queen, so we can take a look at everybody, but probably be a little bit more queen focus is better. But does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good. I like all that. I'm obviously going to have the most insight on Queen, but I think I have a general idea of what people are supposed to do.
All right, yeah, sounds good. All right, let's jump in. Unless you want to go through any sort of small talk first.
Oh God, that's a lot of pressure. Let's skip that.
Okay, cool. Let's start the game. Well, let me see what timestamp they said. So at 6:50, the Queen said that that's when they made their big mistake, which was not being able to get up their warriors. So we take a look at that, and I'll say when we hit that point. So in the opening, guess there was like a little bit of hesitation from the Queen, but nothing looks egregious here. I would say that blue is a little bit slow in getting up their vanilla warrior, and which caused a little bit of an imbalance. But yeah, nothing crazy there.
Yeah, that opener by the Queen, that's a pretty reproducible piece of tech that you can just drill. Um, just establishing the hover on the middle platform
Yeah,
from the opener.
yeah, and I don't think
I
anybody.
guess you want a cab that's on free play if you want to drill the opener. But you can just take a single day map game and just try dropping from the ceiling. There's a number of different ways to do it, but
Yeah,
you can just go from the ceiling of the map and try to hit a J dive. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be to the point where you feel like you're consistently stable by the time you hit the middle of it. And I
yeah,
think that'll really add a lot to the team's openers, just getting that one bit of tech down.
yeah. There's a good amount of time to establish. So your whole point of like not having to be exact is, I think that's really good because like, yeah, you do have like a solid amount of time to actually establish. Okay, let's continue.
Okay.
Um,
All's well that ends well.
yeah. I mean, I like that that Blue Queen went to go tag the. Okay, well, a lot has happened there.
What
So
speed are we watching on?
just regular. Do you want me to slow it down?
Can we do like 0.75?
Yep. 0.75. How do I change this?
Looks like the blue team did a really good job of capitalizing on that initial queen kill. I think I saw a couple of gold warrior deaths, so that's exactly what you want to do when you have an advantage.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing that
Um,
I saw was let me rewind a tiny bit. Let's see. So after that first queen death, blue decided to tag. Let's see. Okay. So oh wait, back even further. So yeah, so here they could have made the decision to tag the gate or tag speed gate. Um I don't think that gold has a lot of need for speed gate after this warrior gets up. So I think the only consideration there would have been should blue have tagged this speed gate instead of going down here.
I definitely tagged the warrior gate there.
Yeah. But at least now I think they should have tagged the speed gate. Obviously hindsight is like 2020. And the only reason I say to tag this speed gate is because they're already sort of in this vicinity. You don't get a lot of value of tagging this gate over here. I don't know what you
Right.
think about that.
I think a bigger piece of feedback that I would give here is on day map as queen, you pretty much almost never want to wrap horizontally if you have any other options, and especially if you're in an advantage position. So after tagging that warrior gate, I would actually turn around and rise up to the middle platform as the gold queen is spawning.
Okay. And then so conceptually, why is that? Do you not want to wrap that much?
So that's basically a really long route with no gates to tag along the way. And I mean, the whole thing with queening is you're trying to optimize like tagging gates and mixing in value add in the middle of it. And that's sort of a big empty space where you can't really add any value while you're going from right gate all the way through to left gate. And that's a lot of time spent not tagging anything also.
Yeah.
And also you're giving the gold queen the middle of the map for free
Yeah.
instead of going up there to block her so she can kind of go wherever she wants.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And then also all the action is sort of happening on the right side of the map too. So wrapping through here is probably not super important because you're really not affecting anything on the map through the wrap. In this particular case, I think maybe trying to surround these warriors or trying to anticipate or trying to set up for the next big battle, which is when the snail gets out of the tunnel, would probably be good here because you already effectively have most of the left side of the map. They're really not trying to get anybody up. So yeah, I think that makes sense. All right, let's continue. So a kill happened there. Get up on mid. I mean, Stripes probably could have prevented that, but I don't know. He sort of missed up. Like, you can review tech or review decision making. I think both is good. Here, tagging speed gate. I like that. Okay, and then now Blue's in a pretty advantageous position. They should be able to get Snail back. Gold's got one warrior. They're about to stack the speed drones.
Yeah, again, I see blue queen wrapping, and I think if you go back to right before she made that decision, there's a much stronger choice of staying on the inside of gold queen.
Yep, so let's see that wrap that you're talking about. I think I might have rewinded too far. Or no, this was... Oh, right there. Okay. Yeah, so they tagged here. I think...
Yeah, so the spot when you get a queen kill, like the number one spot to be if you like already have all the gates tagged is blue queen wants to be where gold abs is right now. Because that way you can sort of block the gold queen if she tries to go inward. And so then that kind of leaves her best option as diving to her own side gate, and then you can kind of trap her down there.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. You already have blue skulls. That's going to be right gate. So you're really trying to shadow them here. Maybe blue queen is thinking their tech's not strong enough in order to sort of push this warrior out. But yeah, I think there's like two components to it, right? We're gonna review like decision making, and then also like, well, decision making from the aspect of if the queen was really secure in their tech, and the other one is decisions based on maybe like slightly I guess the word is like lesser tech. So maybe you don't want to J in here. That's fine. But I think, would you take the top position? Like, I guess, what would you do in that
Yeah,
case?
exactly. The backup option, if I don't feel like I can make that J, would be to hit the ceiling, basically next to Gold Hive. And I would wait for gold checks to just spawn to come up behind gold abs and sort of put some pressure there and create the space for me to make like an easy J.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, and I think like probably staying there too also helps with like stopping some of the speed drones getting up, because now they're gonna have two speed drones. They have one speed warrior, vanilla up. They're probably gonna get two more speeds up here, right?
So I like what blue queen and blue abs are doing here. They're like working together to get their third warrior back up. That's very disciplined and correct for what's currently going on.
Yeah. Kill there. And I think here is where blue is saying that their mistake starts to happen, which is I think their warriors are about to go down, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like blue queen and blue abs were trying to work together a lot, but I see a lot of a lot of solo play of checks over there. Maybe they're trying to hold this one gate that's open, but
yeah, how did checks die?
It got shuffled. Yeah, it just got shuffled here. Okay.
Yeah, I guess that checks could have escaped out towards the middle earlier, seeing that they were kind of by themselves.
Yeah. So now Blues on their back foot a tiny bit. They got all their warrior, like gold side's got all their warriors up, and I see the blue queen starting to retreat to the left side, where maybe they think they need to help with gold checks in order to free up this gate, but I don't particularly like retreating all the way to the left. I'm gonna rewind a sec. Yeah, because their position was already covering half of the map, more than half of the map. Yeah, like, would you just leave blue skulls in order to handle gold checks because gold checks got behind the middle line?
I kind of like what you're saying there, but I mean, if it's me versus gold queen and then blue skulls versus gold checks, then I would definitely hold the middle against the other queen as much as possible. But there's also those other two gold warriors that are going to make it really difficult for my warriors to form. So if they are like getting ready to go under me and it's not like a situation where it's safe for me to dive on them, then I probably would retreat to above the gate.
Yeah.
This is a good instance where stacking would probably be useful. Blue queen could be where blue skulls is, and blue skulls could kind of hover in the air halfway under blue queen, and that's kind of a pretty mostly impenetrable way to like stack the other two drones out of the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, given the numbers disadvantage, I think I do probably like blue queen retreating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Retreating, yeah, because you have a lot of speed warriors coming around. Your only warrior, I think, is vanilla, so stacking over this gate is good. I think for a moment, Blue Queen thought that they wanted to free up the objective, which I think is a problem that I see a lot of like newer queens do, which is they think that their job a lot of the times is to like stop the objective or do something like that, like ledge or something like that. But right now, the top priority is definitely getting up your warriors, and it looks like the best gate to do that is going to be left.
I think blue queen was actually probably looking for the kill on gold checkers rather than just the snail, which that's a little bit more valuable, but it's always like a bait and an incorrect risk to try to kill one warrior when there's one low warrior, when there's two high warriors above you. Like that's not the warrior that you should be looking at in that situation.
That's a really good point. I think that's something to really like ingrain in people's mind, which is like avoid a low warrior if there's other warriors above you, especially if they're speed.
Unless it's like a free kill, which I don't know, maybe they thought it was like, oh, gold checks is running into the side of the ledge and they're not where they're expecting to be and I can just dive. But yeah, it just wasn't there.
Yeah, and the time efficiency there wasn't too bad. They only stayed there for like a second. But I think wrapping here now, like, how do you feel about this wrap here now?
No, I don't think she needs to. Like, they still have the platform. Like, Blue Skulls isn't under any pressure.
Yeah.
You could just take a second to breathe. Like, Snail is fine. You have all the eggs. Like,
yeah.
A lot of the time, what I do in this situation is I just stop and just hover under a ceiling for a half second just to like look around. There's no immediate threat, so she could probably just go back to above that gate and resume the plan.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Especially with blue abs, they're definitely thinking that they're getting up on left gate or they're trying to get up on left gate. Okay, that's good. Avoid there. But now you have nobody to help you get anybody up because your last warrior died. So before, if you stayed on left gate, you would at least have a warrior that will help you stack, and then now you're kind of playing lockout, right?
Yeah. Oh, nice warrior kill. That's exactly what you want in that situation. I like that Blue Queen didn't overcommit to the form and she was focusing more on warrior kills. That's really what you need. Woo! This is great.
Good bump. So this is something that I saw. I'm going to rewind a little bit. So this is something I saw with the drones that I wasn't 100% sure with. Like, the drones are, like, really clumping here, and they're all trying to get to right gate. Like, this sort of situation here. I don't know. Like, should the queen have stayed there? They're not going to rise quick enough in order to take that first now, but now they're going to left gate.
Yeah, you want one waiting at mid and one waiting at left, probably. Yeah. Like, it should be clear that blue's not going to get any forms out of right gate there.
Yeah. Okay, so now they leave again. Whereas I don't think that changes the situation if you leave this gate, right? Like, the advantage here is you already have this gate tagged. You don't have to dive again unless you're trying to punish the warrior trying to get up. Cycling here, I think you're just going to...
Yeah, as long as you're on the ceiling, you're scary. Warriors are scared of you. I mean, they want you to come up off of that ceiling, but oof.
Yeah. I think the part that I would think about there as queen is like in a lockout situation, what would you get by wrapping that you don't already have in the situation that you're already in, right? Because it's like if you wrap, maybe you take the right gate and then you hover over that, but it would have been an equivalent situation if you had just hovered over the left gate that you already had anyway, and it's also closer to your hive. So yeah, easier
Totally agree.
too. Yeah, this is good here. Got one of the warriors up, and then yeah, I think it's a stack situation here. Maybe get a second vanilla up.
I don't like the blue abs. Oh, okay. This is the Jess thing, right? This is what I always talk about. I don't think blue abs did much valuable after forming. There's not really anything to be gained for doubling up on where the queen is. You can use your iframes to get to, I think, pretty much the ceiling of the entire map, and you can exert a lot more pressure from there. Okay, no, I mean, stacking is all right too, but you've got so many warriors around you that it's hard for drones to even get in.
Yeah. I think even if Blue Abs had tried to take the ceiling there, they'd be at a huge disadvantage. I generally like the stack here. Now you're sort of getting surrounded. Is all you. Oh, all right.
Yeah, I take it back. Like at first they were just hovering on the ceiling, which
Yeah.
didn't seem like it was doing much, but then they did the stack, which
Yeah.
that's good.
Okay. Got speed gates, and this is a pretty decent situation now for blue, right? Two gates tagged. Only one warrior at the time. Another warrior's getting up. I feel like they should be able to get up here. I think it might be drone path that made it so they couldn't get up. Oh, but then I feel
Yeah,
like the
blue
blue
queen
warriors are
is
taking a lot
giving
of
up the
hits.
middle again here and going to the right.
Hmm.
When you could just stay in the middle.
Yeah.
A huge thing that you see is people just feel like they need to do something, so they leave when they're actually already in the right place, and they should just stay there.
Yeah. I like that's a concept that's interesting because I think the flip side of that is also true in certain situations. And I think that's a big part of the game, which is like you have to recognize your situations and you have to recognize exactly what's happening. Because yeah, you're right. Like I see a lot of queens, like especially in this game, the queens will move too much when they've already effectively kind of gotten what they have. But I've seen other situations where a queen will stay static when they don't need to. So the only way that you can make that decision is if you have an awareness of everything that's going on. So like, yeah, take a second to breathe in order to like see what's actually happening on the map. But
Mhm.
let's see. Blue lost both of their warriors. Checks got shuffled over here and didn't see what happened to the second warrior, but they're back in lockout and they have no. I don't mind this trying to get speeds up.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Um, good J
Great,
there.
Jay. Again, you want the warrior kills in
Yeah.
that situation.
I mean, I think in that situation, like versus the last situation where they already had this gate tag, like I think this is actually kind of a hard, unless you're super confident in trying to pick off those warriors. I think I might actually wrap here. I don't. It's hard for me to say, right? Because it's like this is going to be a hard tag to get. Um, Gold abs is probably looking for a hover transfer, and then gold skulls. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a hard gate to tag unless you're super confident in being able to take to time those warriors. But
Yeah,
would you
like trying
consider
to
it?
form blue apps here is a mistake.
Yeah,
And just like tagging the gate for that purpose is a mistake. But like tagging it and then trying to stick like further back in the platform, which is exactly what Blue Queen did. I think it's the right choice. It's a they're she's baiting the hover transfer.
yeah,
And if she had hit the tech, it would have been a free kill. So like I think strategically or let's say tactically, it was the right decision, but just needs some work on the tech is the only
yeah,
thing. But
yeah,
I like the choice actually. That's
yeah,
kind of exactly what you want in that situation is to like look like you're trying to form, but then actually just like bait a punish.
yeah. So that makes sense. So to reiterate that point, know what you're doing when you are making that play, and I think the queen did, which was your goal here is not to get up blue abs. The trying to get up on blue abs made the mistake of trying to get up here because that is not the gate that you're going to get up at. This play is just to try to bait one of the warriors in order to get a kill. Tactically, that seems like what blue queen was trying to do, but they just missed the tag. Is that does that sum it up well?
Yep. Yeah. You might want a vanilla drone in that gate as bait. I think that's pretty useful.
Yeah.
Probably not your speed drone.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Let's move on to the next game. This will be the same queen, and I think they're playing a different team. One sec. Okay. Oop. Let me rewind a bit. And they said that their big mistake was in the open. So let's see. Oh, we're still this time we are reviewing gold.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so blue queen dove under. Gold still got their vanilla up, but blue decided to get 2 vanilla, 1 speed. So they have 3 warriors up to 1. I mean, I don't think that's a huge mistake what the gold queen did. Maybe staying static here. Honestly, that seems fine to me. You got your warrior up. You got a queen kill. You got killed by this warrior, but that's a pretty decent trade to get your speed warrior up, and then you're kind of even on eggs now, right? So I don't really think that open is a mistake.
Yeah, I think if your like team is committed to getting your gold speed warrior out of left gate, I think you want to tag it, and it looks like blue abs left, so you can. Okay, she doesn't have time to get to the ceiling there. Yeah. Yeah, I would just say like rise again after you get the kill. Just a small thing, but yeah, it seems like
That should have
strategically
easily been a
fine.
double kill.
Yeah.
That was good there. Like everything I saw there was pretty good. They were capping the ledge for that warrior. Snail is in a bad position now. A lot of the gold.
Yeah, this is actually really important. So how did Snail get there? Because gold's not wiped at any point, right?
Right. But I think that they're so concentrated. Okay, so they're running 2 berries, so they're gonna have 2 drones the whole time. One of their warriors got up. Their second speed gets up. Snail's
So
running.
I'm really not liking what I'm seeing from gold stripes. I'm not sure. So if you're the vanilla warrior in a 2-2 team, like one of your main jobs is slow down the enemy objective. Like you're a defensive part of the team. So they should be heading down to snail tunnel, kind of. Like obviously I wouldn't have them jump into a 1v2.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna push berries in as a single vanilla warrior. So they could go down there and look for opportunities.
Yeah. Well, let me think about that. Like, okay, so they're thinking fairy berries right now. You're saying that the vanilla's job should be to slow down the snail. I think once blue has position over the snail here and the snail's already there, I'm not sure if a vanilla warrior can get in there and actually slow down the snail at all.
I mean, it depends how confident they are in their J. Like for like an advanced player, I would expect them to J in because once you have the tech, it's free, and then you can like sort of keep blue stripes in there until the gold queen can come and clear them. But if you don't have that tech, you can maybe just kind of cap the ledge and like force blue stripes to stay like in that position. Limit their options.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me watch.
They would also they would control the mid gate if they went down there because the speed warrior might need another option if left gate doesn't work out. So there's a lot valuable there.
That makes sense. Let me see their path. So they kind of went towards the queen a little bit. I think at this point, even if they were trying to ferry, let's say this map was different, like the state of the map was different, and then the snail hasn't gotten this much progress. I don't know what Gold Stripes gets from staying in this position here. Like the drone's already moving. I think you have to take the position over. Okay, I guess now they do. Okay. Yeah.
So like too much team focus on ferrying the berry. Like I think it's a good use of your speed warrior at times.
Yeah.
So I like what Gold Skulls did. They have a Speed Warrior has way more options in that space than a Vanilla Warrior because Rising is really powerful in that area of desk map, and if you can outrise someone easily, then you can like really push people out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think Gold Stripes needed to be there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Especially seeing how the game is moving right now, which is like Blue's getting uncontested snail progress.
Whew.
See what's happening here. Okay, now gold is wiped.
Yeah, I do still like what Gold Skulls did there. They kind of were coming to support their queen from above. Yeah, they got pincered by a queen and a speed warrior and just sort of driven down. It's not much they could have done there.
I see why Gold Queen feels that their mistake was the open, because it feels like things just sort of moved like uncontested after what they perceived as losing the open. But I don't think that the open was that bad, and they weren't in that bad of a situation. I think it's just how everything else kind of shaped up, right? Like the Warriors not going to snail quick enough, and then the Warriors just losing a couple battles. But I don't think that the open was egregious, and I don't think that's what caused the loss here.
I think the opener was fine. If I had to point to one mistake, I think it would be all of the military players took the same job as their job. Like all of them were focusing on the same thing, ferrying berries, when there should be ideally a better group knowledge of what job belongs to which player.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you see that happen a lot, especially in defensive situations where it's like people think that they need to ledge, and then they'll put like 2 or 3 ledges up there.
Or 4, or sometimes 5.
Yeah, at some point you kind of have to think about like what is your win condition versus how do you not lose, right? And even that, like they only got 3 top areas in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's it for this game. But I think the main takeaway is like, yeah, like spread out, do more things, and be conscious of what's happening. What the other team's objective is, not just what your own objective is, I guess. But yeah, I don't see egregious mistakes by the queen here throughout the game. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's move on to this is going to be a new queen. And let's see. They pointed out 2 instances where they thought they made a mistake, which is a little bit later in the game. I think this is a little bit longer of a game, so we'll see how this goes. Oh, and then we're reviewing gold side. Okay, so I see that blue was able to get warriors up on both. Oh no, I guess only one side gate, but they also got the middle gate.
Yeah, so I mean, one of your main jobs as gold queen on the opener is to be a line of defense for your own gate. I'm not sure I'm right about this, but I think that it might be worth dropping back and stopping that blue abs for him.
Yeah, but also I think if the drones were a little bit better, if they got a second bump on, they had 2 drones go towards mid to do the bump.
You absolutely have time to stop blue abs, like see that no one else is going to be able to and stop it. And like you have your own pressure over at left gate, so that like might stop blue queen from chasing you or get you something if she does.
Let's see, how did the queen die there? I think that was just a tech mistake or a couple or something. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think anything was actually wrong there either, because we did kind of get a mirror situation, and then gold got a warrior up on left, so I think it wasn't too bad. Let's see. Okay, full nil gold. Gold queen staying safe, tagging speed gates.
I think she could have safely tagged mid gate when she was above it. She had 2 warriors above her, but not a big deal. I like this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like this too. Actually, why does that drone gets speed. What speed warrior count are we looking at here?
Let's see. We have vanilla, vanilla. I can't tell. Is that vanilla too? 3 vanillas.
Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, then I agree with everything.
Yeah. And I think this is a good decision to go full mill, right? You have 3 vanillas up. Let one of the vanillas go down.
Yeah. Yeah. Day speed warrior is very important.
Blue going through the wrap.
This is fantastic by gold.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, everything's held good. Looking at the speed gate. Here. The only thing the one thing I kind of see is like gold checks is kind of staying near the snail a lot.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit less of a fan of the full mill as we keep going. So there's 3 vanilla warriors. I mean, they get to a point where blue only has 1 warrior and then they kill that warrior. Even when blue is down to 1 warrior, I don't know if I should assume that it's either stripes or checkers is a designated OBJ on this team. But maybe one of them should be looking to die. But then gold abs dies, and then they go to get speed, which, like, if they're one of the more skilled warriors on the team, I could understand. But at that point, I really want to see like gold stripes or gold checkers like running into the queen already, and they're just kind of flying around, not doing anything.
Yeah. So I think that's a good point to just talk about briefly. It probably sounds very obvious, but it's just like coordinate what your general role is on the team, and that kind of dictates your decision making during the game. Because yeah, it could be a situation where neither of those warriors knew. Oh, so this was also the first week for league, so neither of those warriors knew that like they should be going objective.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You have four more warriors in the other team, and they're making objective progress. And nobody seems to want to die. Yeah, it's really not good.
Okay, so checks just went down.
Yeah, that's good.
To a good challenge. I think that's good. They should absolutely be going objective, which they do. That's fine.
It's great.
Both sides. Okay, that's good.
Ooh, a bit of an overcommit by Gold Queen, but she gets away with it. Everything I'm seeing is fine. I like that gold stripes get speed. I think that's totally fine.
The only comment I think I would have for the warrior positioning is right now, which is I think gold skull should get on the right of queen.
Oh yeah, I love that. Here. Yeah, that would be amazing.
And they're still sort of staying on the left. And then even here, they wrap back to this side, and then now they're in the front runner position, but somebody definitely should have gone up to the other side of the queen.
Yeah, it could have been abs, but like somebody should have, like, speed warrior following the queen through the wrap is amazing. It's very, very powerful. Ooh.
Okay.
And the queen dives under. Okay.
Okay. So right after the
styling,
queen, taking this position there. This is good. I like that. Yeah, this is good, right? This is a mirror from what we talked about in the first game, where that queen wasn't trying to hold position. Yeah, okay.
And gold abs, what they're doing is perfect too. I mean, they could stay in that high space, honestly, above the queen.
Okay, I still like this position here, both sides. There's only one drone with the berry.
I think gold queen missed out on the pincer opportunity. Oh, they got him anyway, but yeah. I do this a lot too, where I see a gate I could tag and I go right over a pincer opportunity.
Yeah. Don't miss something that's right in front of you, I guess is the. So
ooh.
I think that situation is the same thing that you were just talking about, which was instead of seeing the situation or seeing the warriors or seeing what you need to do, I think they prioritize the gate a little bit too much.
Right? Yeah, queen should never dive on the gate in that situation.
Yeah,
and this actually isn't the first time that gold queen has done it in this game, but this is the first time that she's really been punished for it. Yep. Let a warrior hit that gate.
Right.
Definitely don't do it as queen.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because a queen that's staying static over a gate should be able to punish a queen coming into attack the gate, right? Unless it's you're being like super spicy and then you just think that they're not going to dive on you. Like maybe you do it, but yeah, I don't like the queen trying to tag a gate when another queen is directly over like a 3-tap stick gate, right? Um, yeah, okay. Gold still
And the
has.
gold warrior died too because they thought it was their job, which makes more sense.
They're still in a good position here. Stripes,
Definitely, yeah.
I think. So that's a little bit too much. Like that. That's very small, but I think that's too much of a snail guard there by gold stripes, right? Like you have 2 warriors that I think you can get in the middle position here for these 2 speed warriors to pick off, but Gold Stripes isn't recognizing that, and they're not going to the center of the map to try to hold these 2 warriors. They're just sort of trying to hover over the snail when it's like you had pitch opportunities on those warriors.
Yeah, right. You can control that same space from further away. I definitely see that. Uh-oh.
Uh, yeah, I think one thing that I kind of want to drill into people is that like the most snail movement. Oh,
That sucked.
yeah,
I feel so bad for Gold Queen.
yeah. I mean, I think people think that they need to move snail on day map by like having a warrior over snail, but it's like sometimes that is the case, but the snail moves when their warriors are wiped, right? So it's like I don't know. My opinion is you should kind of just trying to be wiping the warriors, but let's go. Let's look again at how that queen death happened. Queen position is over on the left. That's fine. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think Gold's in a great position here still. Ooh.
yeah,
I mean, Gold Queen just panicked.
yeah.
Like she went to dive for mid right as a blue speed warrior was rising, and she may have not been expecting that.
Yeah.
Um,
But even not expecting that, yeah, I think the panic call is a good one, which was that like the mistake is actually the I would say, in my opinion, is actually the blue warrior. Like that blue warrior should have been dead, right?
yeah, that's true.
Like if the queen was able to establish there, they would have been dead, and then also, yeah, they should have been able to establish high, they would have been dead, right? But
Overall, I think I'm seeing this Gold Queen has a little bit of a tendency to go low a lot, than more than they need to. As a queen, your strength is in your height. Um, the higher up you are, the more space you control, and all of that. So Domish has this really old thing that he used to always say, which was the number one thing that you give up first is horizontal position. And then the second thing that you give up, if you have no horizontal position left to give up, is vertical position. And then if you have neither of those left to give up, then you give up an egg. And that's a kind of a good hierarchy to keep in your mind.
yeah, I think that's like a really good point to really like drill into people. Give up horizontal space first, next give up vertical space, next give up a queen egg. Okay, yeah, sounds good. So this is the last
Yeah.
map that we're going to review, and I think this one's a pretty quick one. Let's see. And then we're reviewing gold side again, and this is the same team. Fast forward a sec. Okay. Open is fine. 2 warriors up.
Pretty perfect opener by gold.
Yeah.
I think that I think that gold stripes could have gone through the wrap. Gold apps is doing it now. That's fine too. But yeah, I like that the gold checks made a play to stop the speed warrior form. Super valuable. Just that thing that you pointed out from the last game seems to have happened again, where nobody went through the wrap.
Ooh. So, yeah, the one thing that I was looking at is like, why tag this gate? Right? Like, this is a recognition from. This should have been recognition from the queen, where it's like, your goal isn't to tag the gate. Your goal is to keep out the warriors.
Hmm.
So going low to tag the gate, you just didn't need it.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, recognize when the gate is your priority versus recognize when the warrior is your priority. Okay, they're going to be able to get.
Oh, that was
I mean,
close.
that's a decent recovery. I think that's fine. I mean, gold's in an
Oh,
okay.
wow. I really, really don't like Gold Queen diving to the gate there.
Yeah, this is a little bit too much tunnel vision of like it just seems like there's a checklist in Gold Queen's head of like I need to tag gates, I need to tag gates. But it's like you have to have context for why you're tagging the gate. Nobody needed to get up. You have two other ones. Like no one had to get up on either side, right? There's three warriors on both sides. Gate is actually not a priority anymore, or gates in general. Yeah.
Yeah, very good point. I think queens should be much more scared of going low than this queen is.
That's good feedback. And then also, I think going immediately to snail there doesn't really help. I think sometimes players get this tunnel vision of like going to try to stop the thing that might cause them to lose, but they don't recognize what the thing is that's going to cause them to lose. Right. So let me just rewind and make sure that I was seeing the right thing.
Yeah, so
So yeah,
if I was spawning there as Gold Queen, I would instead go like pressure Blue Queen at right gate, like cap the ledge or something.
yeah, yeah. I think that's the correct call. The only other thing that I would think of is yeah, if you're not comfortable engaging in a fight there, that's fine. Then that goes back to your point before, where just like you don't have to cap the edge here. You can just stay high and then like control the map that way. If you're going to the
Yeah,
left side because you saw that two blue warriors went down and you wanted to lock out that speed, that's okay. But that doesn't actually happen. The only thing that Gold Queen is responding to is that the snail is kind of close. And then
yeah.
now
Blue
you're
Queen also made a mistake. I know we're not reviewing her, but like instead of going to the wrap there, she could have followed Gold Queen in the middle. Like Gold Queen gave a lot of space up to Blue Queen there.
yeah. So I think that's really good feedback for Blue Queen. Blue Queen is actually the one that we reviewed last time, and then they do seem to have a tendency to go through the wrap over and over again on this map. Okay, covering right gate. Okay, and then at this point, they need to surround the queen, right? No.
Oh,
Okay.
and again, I don't know why Blue Queen wrapped there. I like Gold Queen here. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's
You're kind of letting your warriors battle. You have mid gate. Yeah.
yeah. As long as your warrior has somewhere to form.
Yeah, I think again we're not reviewing blue queen, but yeah, I think that's a blue queen mistake there. They had all their eggs. They let a speed warrior get up on the right, but yeah, we don't have to rewind to look at that.
Don't like Gold Queen wrapping there either. She could have gone through the middle and tagged a lot more gates along the way.
Mhm. Yeah, this is. I think that's another context thing for gold queen. It's like it's. I think it's a little bit too much of a like a checklist mentality where they're like, okay, I need to hover over a gate in order to like get warriors up, but like you do kind of have two warriors up. This is sort of like I would be more in the mode of like getting space or like taking back portions of the map. Let's see. Okay, where do they go now? Okay, like that's fine.
I
Gold
guess. Yeah.
trying to help out. Okay, so they got another warrior up.
Yeah.
Now we're going to snail.
Yeah. I see Gold Queen wrapping here. I think it's fine.
Yep. And I think
Oh.
staying static there, I think is fine, just because you're sort of telling the blue warriors that they can't really go down, or else you're gonna punish.
Yeah. It's a temporary position.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. She got spooked by the stench threat and yeah, turn around.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the main takeaway from that one is like just stay higher, right?
Yeah.
And don't tag Gates needlessly.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's it. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but yeah, thanks a lot for helping with these reviews. Any last words for people?
Not much. Thank you for having me. As for those two queens, you're doing great. This stuff does not come quickly. I had to sort of hear these same things a billion times before I internalized them. But the more times that you watch back your footage and you know, like, these are the specific things that I'm doing, the more they'll start seeping into your mind while you're playing and you'll start not doing them. So
Right.
I think you're mostly doing great and keep it up, is what I have to say to them.
Yep. Sounds good. All right. Thanks again.
Thanks, Chris. Bye.